Rewarding the unfilial son, an approach to good and bad. A samurai was on a journey. His retainer fell behind, so he paused to wait for him. At the last, the retainer came rushing up, out of breath. "What were you doing?" asked the samurai. "My straw sandals broke, so I was fixing them." "Who gave you the straw?" "No one. I took it from some rice plants laid out to dry by the side of the road." "Did you ask permission first?" "No," said the retainer. "Nobody would care about a stalk or two of rice straw. Everybody does it anyway." "You fool," said the samurai. "I won't put up with such an attitude. Everyone else may allow it, but I will not. Go back and ask the owner's pardon." The samurai well knew that those two excuses, "everyone does it," and "it's so small it doesn't matter," are always on the devil's tongue. Lord Tokugawa Mitsukuni, 1628 to 1700, was on a tour of inspection. A local man known for abusing his mother heard that the Lord would reward anyone who demonstrated uncommon filial respect. Eager to receive a prize, he hoisted his aged mother on his back and joined the parade to welcome the distinguished visitor. Mitsukuni caught sight of the man carrying his mother and ordered an attendant to reward him. "Surely you don't mean it, sir," said the attendant. "The fellow is known for the atrocious way he treats his mother most of the time. He's only here today with her on his back to try to fool you into giving him something." Mitsukuni listened thoughtfully and then said, "What difference does it make? Even if he's only making a small gesture, and even if it's only for today, that's all right. The important thing is, at least this one time, he has accorded her proper respect. Give him a rich reward." He who comes in contact with red dye is stained red. We are shaped by the people who surround us. He who associates with good people will find himself becoming good. Do good, even if it is only an act of imitation. Mm. Um, yeah, this reminds me of the the phrase, I don't know if this is proper, but the "fake it till you make it." And I know it's taken out of context, but it's similar to what we talk about in Buddhism about always creating good deeds, even if it doesn't feel internal at first. Knowing that we're producing this good deeds and planting good seeds out into the world, eventually it's almost like the gateway or the door for us to cross through and fully become aligned with the path for true happiness. And so, like in this story, even if this, or I suppose even if the presencing or the witnessing of Mitsukuni was what initially propelled this son to take out his mom and treat her nicely. It may just be that starts sort of a joy or happiness movement within him, and that could be the first seed planted, regardless of what was the beginning that initially sparked that. Similar to, I believe, when certain people come into our lives, maybe it's just a stranger or a neighbor or a friendly conversation, but sometimes those conversations, just what we talk about in Buddhism, when we plant those seeds, even through our mouth. I was just reading actually last night about, in the book You Were Born for a Reason, where in Buddhism, the main gateways for misfortune are the mouth, the body, and I think the mind. And it's interesting to note that even with that, we have so much impact on each other. So similar to this, even if this visitation or arrival of Mitsukuni to reward people is just the door to spark people into starting to create those good deeds that potentially has lasting impact and that ripples out into the world. It only takes a small action like that for somebody to have a change of heart. But I'm open to anybody else's interpretation.
Yeah, I agree with that. It brings to my mind also our phrase a day of finding the good in others and praising them for it. Sometimes that action that might be very small, if it's recognized, all of a sudden takes on greater weight and makes a deeper impact on the person who made that action. In the first story, we are told how the samurai knows that the phrases "everyone does it" and "it's so small it doesn't matter" are always on the devil's tongue. Everyone does it dismisses the gravity of any situation by including yourself with everyone. Well, who's everyone? Um, that's are they good? Are they bad? We don't know. But we do know that if we associate with, as it says, with the red dye, we too will be stained red. So we have to be careful when we say everyone. Who are we talking about? And also, it's so small that it doesn't matter. I think here, Lord Tokugawa was able to recognize that even though this might have been a vain attempt to get riches, and it was only a small gesture, it wasn't that it didn't matter. He recognized, even if it's small, it matters, especially if it's recognized. Then it grows by orders of magnitude for the person who did it. So, as Estefania said, the good word, the power of the speech is important to use in a positive way. And praising someone for something that they do, even if it's so small, when you offer praise for that, you magnify it, and it enriches the person who does the deed. And as you say, Estefania, it could be the first seed planted. But why don't we help water it? Let's lean into our humanity and sprinkle a little water on the good seeds that others plant.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, this is exactly what mindfulness is all about, paying attention to the hour, the minute, the moment, from moment to moment. We become mindful of what goes on in our mind. So this is where we can deepen our practice, paying attention to the small, and then it has the ripple effect. Yeah, and we can all lean into our humanity and see the light spreads in our communities. Okay, good job, everyone. Thank you, Yuichi, also for sharing the text for us and for people on our YouTube. So have a beautiful evening. Tonight is Monday, so we will have Right View Lab at 8 p.m. Pacific time. Take care. Bye.